Dr. Nyaho Tamakloe, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, and how are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm fine.
Fantastic. Well, 3 days ago, something happened at Sukura, at Central in the Greater Accra region of the Republic of Ghana. Please, have you taken your time to watch the video?
Yeah, I saw the clip on the television during the news item, and I was a bit confused. I thought it was an old tape that was being played. But after a careful look, I noticed that I was told that happened just a couple of days ago in Accra here. And I was very much disturbed in the sense that where we are reaching now, I think it should be the concern of all Ghanaians, both home and abroad, and not just all Ghanaians, but it should be the concern of the elderly in the society. I am also very much disturbed that it appears as if the nation itself, the nation Ghana itself, is being walked into destruction. This is the way I look at it at the moment.
So we are not safe as a country.
Yeah, because if you can see a group of people who are in military uniform who are not soldiers, you see, I find it difficult at times to understand what is happening. Because soldiers, as I know, have been trained properly. And so a soldier cannot just leave a camp and come to town. In fact, those of you who are very young, you might not probably know that Tema camp used to be miles away from the center of Accra.
Exactly.
It was done for a purpose. And so are other camps. Michel camp used to be miles away from Tema. And that was also done on the purpose. But now we have them living right within the center of the city. Now, what I saw yesterday on my television tells me only one thing, that we have a militia in this country at the moment. Well, Dr. Nyaho Tamakloe,
the way I saw it. You have been there before. I mean, you've been in the military before. I mean, the top gurus, the top hierarchy in the Ghana Armed Forces, why are they quiet on this issue?
The top hierarchy of the Ghana Armed Forces, most of them in command at the moment, I don't know them. And they might not know me too. But where you have a situation, let me make that clear, where former serving officers who have been commanded before requested to see the head of state on the dangerous situation as far as safety of our people is concerned in the country.
Yeah.
And they are not listened to, then it becomes a problem. And I'll be very specific. Brigadier General Nuno Mensah has been twice Chief of Defense Staff.
Yeah.
There's another officer you might not know called General Ashley Larson. He's the only surviving most senior officer in the Ghana Armed Forces at the moment. He might be in his 90s, but very, very strong. Now, these two gentlemen requested to see the president to have a chat with him about the security situation in the country. That's about a month and a half ago, or 2 months ago. And the president refused to see them.
They're serious.
What he said was that they should talk to his Minister of National Security. I have never heard this before. In many cases, they have not commented on it. I know about it, and I know I'm 100% sure about what I'm saying. Now, militia to me is a military force that engages in rebel or terrorist activities in opposition to the regular army. This is what the militia is. And what we saw on the television yesterday is nothing but a militia, because they have been sent by a political figure. Well, if that had not been the case, by now they should have been rounded up. The soldier in uniform who was there should have been arrested immediately. And the others who were in uniform and they are not soldiers should have been in custody by now.
But information, the statement from the Ghana Police Service, indicates that they have, arrested those involved, and very soon they will, they have started carrying in their investigations.
Well, if that is done, or that has been done, then that is okay, because that is the duty of the police. Now, with the armed forces, this is a serious matter for a soldier or a serving officer. No, he's a soldier. He's not an officer. I think many a time we have been making a little of mistake about the officer corps and the other ranks. In the military, we have the other ranks and the officer corps. Let me clarify that situation very, 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 very clearly this afternoon. Now, an officer joins the armed forces. He is trained as a cadet. He goes through a lot. He is commissioned by the President of the Republic. And then he has the President's commission as an officer. Now, he starts from the rank of second lieutenant, full lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, full colonel, brigadier general, major general, and then lieutenant general. So far in our armed forces, these are the structures. The highest we have is the lieutenant general. Now, with the other ranks, who comes in as an ordinary soldier, he is trained, he passes the course, and he starts from private. Private, he comes to lance corporal, from lance corporal to full corporal, from full corporal to sergeant, from sergeant to staff sergeant, from staff sergeant to warrant officer class 2, then from warrant officer class 2, he goes to warrant officer class 1. Now, this is how the military has been set up. This was done years ago. Now, all those who are not commissioned are never referred to as officers. But this is, we call everybody an officer. The same with the police service. Those who should be called officers are those who have the president's commission. They are the officers because they give directives. The ranks listen to what officers say. And if you have a functioning military force, this is the way you operate. I don't know how far that is going on now, but it is becoming a bit worrying now. So, becoming very worrying.
AK-47 rifle.
With rifles, and then attack a civilian population.
It means the danger is looming.
I think we have to now start thinking seriously.
So, what is the work of a military officer? If someone is in the Ghana Armed Forces,
a military officer has nothing to do with internal security.
Fantastic.
Let's get that straight. His work is to defend the nation. Anyone who wants to attack the nation is the duty of the military officer. It is the duty of the military of the Ghana Armed Forces to defend the nation Ghana.
Not to turn themselves as land guards.
Internal security is absolutely in the hands of police. And the police is a service. It's not a force.
Exactly.
Normally, they are not supposed to carry weapons. It's a service. Now, the moment you shift from that angle and you want to use weapons, then there must be a problem in the country. If there's no problem in the country, there's absolutely no need for any police or military officer to carry weapons around.
Fantastic. The Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, President Akuffo Addo, happens to be your best friend, your childhood friend. How would you assess his performance? His leadership style and everything as the President of the Republic. Are you enthused with his leadership style?
Well, if you say leadership style, he is the one in charge of the country at the moment. The areas that they find to be very, very grey. There are areas too that I think is very worrying, especially when we have a Council of State. You see, these institutions were put into place for a particular purpose. The Council of State have every right. Because if the nation Ghana gets destroyed today, the responsibility will equally be on the members of the Council of State. Now,
so is it because they are not doing?
Give me a chance.
Fantastic. Go ahead.
That notwithstanding, the House of Chiefs will equally be blamed for any trouble that will come into this country, because they are supposed also to advise the president. But when you have the House of Chiefs who concur on what leadership does, that's the political leadership does, then you know you are in big trouble. Now, all these things have been going on.
What about the clergy?
And they are the most. The clergy should be blamed more than anybody with what is happening. Because my own church, moderator, Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
Are you a Presbyterian?
I am a Presbyterian.
Fantastic.
I worship at Usu Ebenezer.
Usu, right here?
My own, yes. My own moderator, who happened to be my junior in school, primary school, years ago.
Professor Mate?
Yes. I know Professor Mate.
He was your junior?
Mugabe, you think I'm a small boy, huh? Huh?
Doctor
if you get to know my age, you'll be shocked. Wow. But I won't disclose my age on air.
I know your age, Daddy.